As Humza Yousaf struggles to keep his party together, his former opponent Kate Forbes and her team are plotting to oust him as SNP leader. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel that challenges the mainstream media and the political establishment, from the left-wing nutters to the globalist elite. Okay, so it's a big day today. We have a number of news updates for you guys, but also later on tonight, the moment the polls close for the local elections, shortly after, we're going to do a live coverage of the 2023 local elections results. Together, we're going to have a live chat and everything else. There's absolutely no need to watch the mainstream media when you have this channel and all of us as a community. But before we get to the election times, so let's talk about what's going on in Scotland. The SNP minions are freaking out because Humza Yousaf as an experiment is not working. I wonder why. So it's all about Team Forbes, because Kate Forbes and her allies are preparing to not only challenge Humza Yousaf, but they've actually, as we reported a while ago, quite recently, they've been preparing and they actually have a shadow government in place, a secretive shadow government inside the SNP establishment. So Team Forbes have been holding behind closed doors talks with the other members of the Scottish Parliament in the SNP and MPs in Westminster with a view to making a move to oust the new First Minister. Now, one point of this is to prepare the challenge, the leadership challenge, which is a bit of a mess considering the man who just became a party leader and First Minister. The other point is that in the meantime, there seems to be a lot of suggestions that Kate Forbes and the people around her have already prepared a shadow cabinet inside the same party of the Scottish government. So they're not even the opposition party, they are still the SNP members, but they are doing their own stuff inside Holyrood. What a mess. So last week, when one of the group was told that they resemble a government in exile, one of the MSPs said, well, you mean government in waiting? Well, yeah, probably, yeah. Senior figures in both Labour and Conservatives have started stepping up their attacks on Kate Forbes in case they need to pivot to deal with a new SNP leader. So that is quite fascinating, how both the Scottish Labour Party and the Scottish Tories are already thinking that it might be inevitable, this fall of Humza eventually. So let's prepare the attack lines in case Kate Forbes actually becomes party leader. So that's one problem. But at the same time, the SNP know that they now have to attack the Scottish Labour Party because this idiot, Anas Sarwar, who's the leader of the Scottish Labour Party, who, again, by default, his party is doing well, mainly because the SNP are in a mess. So he's celebrating. He's thinking that, oh my God, people in Scotland now suddenly love the Labour Party. No, they don't love the Labour Party. It's simply because, well, the Tories are not really a good alternative for them, and the SNP have betrayed them. And the Scottish Greens, are you kidding me with that? So by default, they are thinking, well, as long as the Scottish Labour Party don't really completely screw us over, we might actually go with them. They don't really realise that they have a similar policies to the SNP anyway when it comes to the budget management, the NHS, the education system. So nothing will actually change if you vote for the Scottish Labour Party either. Now, there have been a lot of skeptics against Humza Yousaf, but one of them actually said about this potential coup that I think this is a really high-risk strategy. I think it is too early. There is a feeling that Humza won't last long, but I think he will be there longer than they think. But that's the other point, because if people like Kate Forbes and those around her are thinking, well, let's just do a challenge and oust him for no reason right now, that is a bit of a high-risk strategy. But if they go with, let's wait for the next election, the upcoming election results, and when Humza completely loses the whole thing, then that will be a better opportunity for them to do that coup if they want to do it. But at least wait for him to fail. Now, I'm not a fan of Humza Yousaf, but if you are taking a shot at the king, you better not miss. And if they try to do a leadership challenge now, before any evidence of his failure, I know there is already evidence of his failure from our perspective, but we're talking about on a party political level, then if they miss it, then Humza is going to be there for a long, long time. And Kate Forbes will be humiliated. Sort of like what happened with Boris Johnson. His failed attempt to return. Ironically, he actually apparently had the support to come back. Whether that was the right decision or not, that's a whole different point. But Boris missed it. And now, don't think he can come back. But you never know with that idiot. Anyway, let's take a quick break. We're going to come back. Don't forget, later tonight, after the 10 p.m. Curfew, when the polls close at the local elections, we're going to come to you guys with a live stream on Mahyar, Tousi, and we are the media.